Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
How we doing, sir?
What's up?
Oh, nothing much, sir. You feeling all good?
Oh yeah, man. Fucking
Feeling
beautiful.
strong?
As always.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Big Beefin' Show. There's me, JP, and the captain of this boat, as always, Mr. Shazam Rollins. How we doing, sir?
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Motherfucker. Oh, because he did that just one time.
Well, that's the you know that Kevin Nash, the guy who was Diesel?
Yeah?
He was saying they were interviewing him one time, they're like, what's the problem with wrestling? Why isn't it why is it went back down mainstream? And he was like, let me give you an example of the problem. He said the other day I was taking the bus. I can't remember where he was at. He was in some metropolitan area that has a bus system. And he was like, man, I'm on the bus, and there's these kids on there. And the kids are running off the bus, and one of the kid kind of stumbles, and the other kid laughs at him. And the other kid looks back at him and says, suck my fucking dick, bitch. And Kevin Nash is like, you could never, ever say that on WWE. And so as long as you're not able to say that, people aren't going to take it seriously. Because Vince ain't going to allow them. There's certain words they can't say. Like, I think they struggle just to be able to say bitch.
I think that's always the minimum word they can say, and then they can only say it like one time per night.
Yeah.
They can say ass.
Yeah, they can say
that was fine.
But it's sparingly. But you don't ever hear them say shit or fucker or fuck or goddamn or bastard. Maybe you hear bastard every now and then, but not often. Cunt.
No, never. Oh,
Shit ass bitch, fuck, shoobity doo wop, shoobity bee bop. I know I've done that like 3 times on this podcast. Whatever.
Didn't give someone a cold stone. So go figure. I'm over here been telling y'all how I want a Batman Beyond Batmobile. Then they released one.
Oh, okay.
The thing you sent me.
Yeah.
But what is for the fans? I've been wanting a Hot Wheels Batmobile, but apparently what Shane found was they're releasing what is it, Shane?
It's die cast, so it's like a Hot Wheel. It's metal, but I don't know how big it is.
And what is it? It's just a collector's item with a magazine?
Yeah, supposed to be special edition.
Like Aaron said, it's already set out of stock. I was like, well, fuck. I was ready to have the credit card ready, like, oh yeah, this is mine right now. Like, well, shit, it's out of stock. So. Well,
this will at least point you in the right direction.
Oh yeah. So hopefully someone have it in stock, and I can scoop and get it real quick before it goes out of stock again. Shit.
Did you get a haircut, boy?
I did.
You look trimmed, boy. You look trimmed.
Trimmed. The right word there, John. Trimmed. He doesn't have enough hair to cut.
Everybody's got jokes. Everyone's got jokes.
I need the haircut. It was it gets when it starts getting long like that. I just don't like having to comb it and put gel in it and all that crap and get it. It always looks fucked up to me. Like, and then like throughout the day, the gel part stays hard. It stays gelled, but then like the sides of it will turn back to normal hair. So it's like,
I know. I know.
It's fucking gel. I hate that shit. So then I'll try to wet it, and then people are like, "Are you sweating? Was it fucking hot?" And I was like, "No, I just, I'm trying to get my hair to look even across the
shit."
So it ends up just being, you know what? And then, but I finally found a barber that could do it right. Like, that's the hardest problem I have going into. I know this sounds stupid, but you can't just walk into a fucking Pro Clips and say, "I want a flat top." And like, what do you mean a flat top? And it's like how they looked in the 60s. I want to look like that. Like every white guy in the fucking 50s and 60s look. I want to look like that.
I want finger length on top and a fade on the side. That's what I want.
You would need some bed sheets for that, and maybe a couple of burning crosses.
That's back in the 20s, boy.
God dang.
And they had dapper hair back then. They put that shit in their grease in their hair.
I'm a dapper damn it. I'm a dapper damn man, damn it.
Yeah. But no, so when I go into the barber, most barbers, they're like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, flat top. And they're like, well, what numbers is that? I'm like, I don't fucking know. For 25 years, I went and saw the same guy. And I walked in, and he just knew what to do. I didn't even have to ask. As soon as I walked in, he just went to work. So yeah, I mean, it's
Really?
just that. And then when he retired, I found this other lady, and she could do it. And I stayed with her for a long time. Well, she retired, and so now I've been hitting back and forth. And this last lady before this one, she left way too much on top. So it was like, okay, you solved my problem for the size, but I still got too much fucking hair up on the top.
I have enough hair.
Well, back here, like in the middle, it still gets real thick. So finally
I
found.
always say, like I tell her, fingernails on top, fade on the side. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Does it work?
Yes.
Well, this old bastard that did it yesterday, I was able to tell him what I want, and he looked at me and he said, he's like, have you had a flat top before? I'm like, motherfucker, that's all I've ever had since I was a kid. One time I got Brave John, and I did the chili bowl because everybody was fucking doing it.
Who was doing it? Who was everyone doing that?
Everybody, when we hit 10 years old, every fucking kid had a chili bowl. Everybody had it at least once.
All right, continue. Go ahead.
But I got rid of it. I mean, obviously, it was fucking. I looked ridiculous.
Well,
drinking there, boy.
That, but mom, my mom, she was driving all the way up here to Dallas to get Petey a haircut because Petey is so specific about how he wants his haircut.
What is that? Lager?
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it's called Yingling Lager. It's the oldest brewery in America, the original amber brew.
God bless America. Is that the one that your friend smuggles over here for you?
Yes, that is the one I've procured through certain methods.
Yes, it's not moonshine, Shane. You know, he doesn't have to sneak it to you.
They don't sell it here in Texas.
You know, I'm still on that thing. Maybe whenever I take a trip to Kentucky or somewhere, I don't know how I'm going to ask someone like, "Hey, you know, I can get some moonshine, like that good moonshine." Like, I don't know how I ask somebody that. Like,
I know somebody in the that has it.
When we take our camping trip in Arkansas, there's going to be fish bait places all fucking around there. You just walk in. Somebody.
They got illegal liquor in there?
They'll fucking know. They'll fucking know who's got it.
How do you ask that? Hey man, I'm looking.
Well, you got a
stronger
country accent. Hey, I heard you boys got some of that moonshine. I need to get some.
Well, Arkansas is like a whole fucking different level of country. Like Arkansas is like real thick. Like, how y'all doing? Y'all got any of that moonshine? Like, it's got to be.
You don't got to fake it. You just got to make it sound original.
You got any of the potato shine?
Yeah.
Potato shine.
Yep. So
let's send John in there and ask for it. Let's do that.
John, you know, they're like, where y'all from? We're like, oh, we're just camping, looking to have a good time, and
just the three of y'all. Yep, just three of us.
When you walk in, you say something old school like, "Is this whole county wet? Are y'all nobody dry? Are y'all all dry? We're just looking to have a good time," and maybe they'll let it slip. Or you could be like Daniel, and you can walk in there and you can be like, "Do you know where we can find some moonshine?"
And wink. That'd be Daniel. He put his fingers together. Oh, I thought we could work out a little deal.
But I always like the faces people make when they drink moonshine. They're always like, "Ooh."
John, it's fucking toxic. You're drinking poison.
Did you ever watch Lawless?
Mm-mm.
You never watch Lawless? It's about moonshining and during Prohibition has Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf in it. Oh,
that's the one where Shia LaBeouf decked him in real life.
Yeah, and he thought, well, can we stop filming now? Are we done?
Tom Hardy would have fucked him up, man.
John.
No,
he's a recovering addict or an alcoholic or something like that. He doesn't do that shit.
He just recently did another movie. Finally, he got his I don't know what was wrong with this man. You know, I like Shia LaBeouf a lot, but he fell into depression or mental illness or something.
I think he's got a borderline personality disorder.
Well,
he has mood swings.
It happens a lot with those kids. They get so famous so damn quick. Like his Disney show, like it just takes you to another level, man. It's just fucking. You know,
he's on the next level, bro.
They They pull you out of school, so now you've lost all that. That social dynamic from school, that's gone. So you have some teacher who,
hey, they don't turn out Shia LaBeouf.
You have some teacher who's like a fucking, hired by the studio, doesn't give a fuck. They don't give a shit whether if the kid learns or not.
As long as he takes 8 hours of school, as long as he's learning something.
Yeah, and then if he does go to school, everybody knows who the fuck he is, so his life is miserable.
It's like Eminem.
And then
I won't sign your autograph. You could call me an asshole.
So he had the fandom, but then he got put in the Transformers, and that was it after that. That's fucking game over. As soon as he got Transformers, because now you've went your adolescent, the formative years of your life, what determines how you're going to be as a man, you got women just fucking walking up to you, putting their vagina right in your nose, and just rubbing it.
I don't think it was like that.
I think exactly.
There's a story like that. There's a story when he put that fucking bag on his head. He said some women rubbed their tits on his face, trying to get a reaction out of him.
He got married, though. He got married.
Did he?
Yeah, he's married now.
God, I bet that's a fucking disaster.
No, I don't know. I just know I remember they were talking about it, like, Shia LaBeouf gets married. Like, good for him. Glad someone took him. Crazy butthead. Well, yeah, he's like that. I'm glad he's out of his slum. He's making movies. Good to see that. So.
Yeah, as soon as he found out that Trump was running for president, he started immediately taking video protests, and somebody was trying to come up and tell him to quit it, and he just charged him. He ran right after him. He was ready to fight.
He was bobbing his head like a chicken. He was like,
yeah,
up around the guy.
What was he saying?
I never found anything that
something like that.
Hardcore to protest. I never found nothing to protest. You ever protest anything, Aaron? That you had to get out of bed and say, "All right, honey, I got my sign here. I'm gonna go head out."
Because
I never found anything hardcore to go protest about, or anything I'm passionate about to go protest.
For a big part of my life, I was in the military, and you can't go to protests and like get yourself recorded, through video or photograph, and they see you, you represent the military, and that associates the military with that protest, and then it just becomes this big public relations scandal. So you can't do that. You have to go incognito if you go. Here recently, I did go to an awareness thing where they were protesting the detention camps at the border, and I thought originally they were just trying to raise awareness for the conditions that were there, because this doctor showed up and gave his testimony. He said it was really bad. And so I went out there to speak initially, and then I realized that they were protesting them. I was like, well, what the fuck, man? They can't just close the detention camps. They got to have them.
It's just the conditions. We're not going to get on that, but it's just the conditions that people are living in the detention centers where people want to protest.
When he was talking about the medical issues that are going on down there, like this kid, their feet had swollen up inside of their boots, and they had to take the boots off because the feet were giving them so much pain. They needed to actually look at the feet, and they start taking the boots off, and like the skin came with the boots.
Oh shit, man!
This was a kid that was under 12.
They need to let them kids walk around barefoot so their feet get harder.
Well, what part of it is that the water had soaked into the material of the boot and hardened it around the foot. And no, that's wrong. It got in the feet, and the feet swelled up, and they got inside the boots where they couldn't get out. And so they wore their boots for like 4 or 5 days. And so that kind of shit happens when you wear your boots for too long.
Man, health problems. Man, I never knew that would happen. Shit,
So that's why he was like, we got to shut these borders down because people are having such terrible health issues. And I was like, well, I can't consign to that.
Well, but what did you do? Did you like, whoa, guys?
Well, I got up there to
all this.
When I got up there to speak, and they put the camera on me, I said, well, I just want you to think about, the people that are actually in the detention centers working. They got to see this every day, and they've got to make sure that they keep the bad guys out, because I know what happens when you let the bad guys in. And they've got to deal with that, and they've got to deal with these kids living in these horrible conditions, and these adults that are being treated like prisoners when they haven't done anything illegal. They're just trying to get across the border, but they're being detained for whatever reason and blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to keep everything in perspective. It's like, look, I understand there's a tragedy going on, but you got to understand it's bigger than just one or even 1,000 people. There's billions of pieces to this puzzle.
How long did you talk for?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, they had like all these speakers lined up. The doctor only spoke for about 10 minutes. His testimony was really powerful. He was talking about like specific medical cases.
Where'd you go up to? Where were you at?
It was here in Waco.
Okay.
What was the event?
This was back in, I don't know, March? No, May. It was back in May.
They just let random people go up there and talk and rant?
No, they organized it through Facebook, and one of the people that organized it knows me personally, and she asked me to be a speaker, so I said, okay.
Interesting.
Did you do any research? Did you actually look how things are down there?
Yeah, well, not just that. I also heard testimonies from some of the people that actually went down there. So these churches were raising money to donate supplies to those detention centers because they were, severely understaffed and undersupplied. And so I talked to some of the people that went down there with their churches, and they were getting on other churches saying these churches want to, support this cause, but then they don't do nothing. They just say that they're going to do it. So she was trying to tell people, is like, you need to get your church to raise money and send like diapers, Depends, baby wipes. And I was like, God dang, man, it sounds like the fucking Middle East over there.
Well, I'm sure it'll all get worked out.
Well, one day, yeah, sure. They'll figure it out.
We'll work it all out. Shane, did you hear what I said this morning? What someone called me?
Yeah, grossly overweight.
Grossly overweight.
I can see that.
When you said that on your podcast, I fucking busted out laughing. Like I fucking was rolling on the floor laughing.
I get that some people have to be on this, but how do you were you waiting to use that word grossly?
Well, it's a definite medical term. It's what they call it.
Grossly is a
they call it obese. They call it obese. So it's either obese or overweight or fit.
No, you're grossly obese.
I've
never heard a doctor say that.
I got heavily overweight. I never saw lightly overweight, heavy overweight. Right at the bottom, grossly overweight.
Grossly overweight. I've never heard a doctor say that. Never seen it.
I've seen it like in charts and stuff, like in BMI charts.
What? Grossly overweight? Did you just tell me, hey doc, I can read this. You know this, right? I can read grossly. You couldn't just say
to the doctor, John? What'd you go to the doctor for?
The what?
What'd you go to the doctor for?
Not exact reason. Just a checkup. Just a checkup. He said,
did they give you any tips? They give you any advice or anything?
Huh?
They give you any advice or anything?
He tried to give me some bullshit about going vegan. I said, get this shit out of my face.
Who told you to go vegan?
The doctor.
I've never had a doctor tell me to go vegan.
No, because he was vegan. That's why he was trying to push that vegan crap on me.
Well, John, so they're coming out with all these different research studies, and I heard recently there's a research study that connects Alzheimer's to diabetes. Mm-hmm. And if you go through a vegan diet, then that can actually improve your Alzheimer's symptoms to where your Alzheimer's will be diminished.
But it's genetic. But isn't Alzheimer's genetic though?
You need to go fucking vegan.
But isn't Alzheimer's genetic sometimes though?
Well, if they're linking it to diabetes, John, then no, it's not genetic. Well, there are
diabetes.
With the
fat, I got diabetes, right?
Your diet helps your Alzheimer's if you go.
I got diabetes.
No, there's something else that they've linked Alzheimer's to. It's some, I think it's heavy metals, shit that's in your phones and stuff.
Oh shit, really?
Batteries and stuff like that, yeah.
Fuck.
No.
Oh, I will be trying this weekend.
70s, 80s didn't have cell phones back then.
I will be trying that.
Alzheimer's way more prevalent now.
That Impossible Burger from Burger King. I'll be trying that this weekend. That vegan burger.
Yep. That's going to add to your grossly overweight status.
Well, it's a vegan burger.
What's your goal? I mean, what are you trying to do? What's going on?
Celia got a free burger from her T-Mobile Tuesday, a free Impossible Burger. I'm like, and she goes, and she doesn't like Burger King at all. So I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll eat it. Who cares? Free burger.
What's wrong with Burger King?
Huh?
What's wrong with Burger King?
You don't like the flavor they have.
A charbroiled flavor?
You don't like it.
You got to watch out, John, because Burger King said that they're coming up to a weekend where they're not going to be selling any Whoppers. because they're supporting their competition's fundraising goal for cancer research.
You know what pissed me off about Burger King? So supposedly McDonald's got rid of their orange high C drink.
Jane got pissed off about something.
So
Burger
King said that they're like, don't worry, we're still selling it here. We still got your orange high C. So the other day I pulled into a Burger King and I was like, fuck it, I want an orange high C. So I ordered one. They gave me an orange high C, but it was a slushy. It's fucking ice. And I'm like, I didn't want a slushy. I wanted fucking.
I would go to Taco Bell for work. Shane would come and well, he didn't come pick me up every day, but when he did come and pick me up, he'd say, "Hey boy, I want a fruit punch. Give me a fruit punch, boy." And it'd be a big fucking cup about this big. I want a fucking fruit punch.
I want some juice.
I know we said this before, but when 7-Eleven was making those double gulps, we did the math on it. That was the 2-liter sodas that people buy for $1. Damn, people would drink. You're drinking 2 liters of soda, people. You drink a whole. You know, people didn't realize that they did the math on it. Like, oh wait, you're drinking half a liter a day. I mean, all the time.
It came down to like 2,200 calories, like in one shot.
And they were cheap though. They're like what, 59 cents or stupid like that. They're fucking cheap. So every day they don't got one. Like, well, fuck, damn, there's your root cause of diabetes. You know, soda. I mean, 2 liters of soda every day.
He topped his caloric intake. Like that's all the calories he's supposed to get for the day in one drink, and pure sugar. It's all just sugar calories.
So
it's liquid.
He's in a lot better shape now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lot better shape now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a wake up call. Doctor was like, "Hey, you got fucking diabetes, man." It's like, oh shit. And you know how Daniel is when he goes to the extreme, man. When he goes, he goes.
My flexibility was okay, he said. He looked at all my birthmarks, and the other were cancerous.
Did you have to run?
Huh?
Did you have to run?
No. I didn't run.
John don't run.
No, he checked me out, touched me all over, you know.
So what the fuck do you think he's gonna run at the hospital?
You get blood work done? Blood work?
Yeah, he pulled some blood, so.
Oh, I wonder what those were. You're going to have to share the results. Let us know.
We'll see what happens. Poke in my belly.
Privacy. So, no, you don't have to share the results, John. You don't have to do that.
No, you got to share it for the show.
No, you don't.
People want to know how I'm borderline diabetic or something like that.
Next time, I'll let y'all know.
Huh?
Oh, you know lipid values, triglyceride values. You know the range for those, huh?
Yeah, the first time I did it was fucking off the charts.
Changing perfect.
To be fair, the night before that fucking test, I forgot that I was going in to do that the next day, and I had this huge bowl of banana pudding with whipped cream and shit on there. And you're not supposed to eat before you draw blood.
No, you're not. At least 12 hours.
Sure, what that test was picking up was that fucking banana pudding. They're like, God damn, man.
You got sugar in your blood. Man. It's like sugar. You got sugar cane flowing through your veins right now.
that what I can't resist is that cheesecake banana pudding. Oh my god! I mean,
cheesecake banana pudding?
Huh?
I've never heard of that.
Oh man, Shane, that'll blow your mind, Shane. Cheesecake banana pudding. Oh, look it up. Make Sarah make it. Ask Sarah.
Yeah.
It's gonna make her.
She's been like, because of pregnancy stuff, like crazy with cheesecake, and she got some cheesecake ice cream, and yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
Ask her tell about that blue cheesecake banana pudding. Oh yeah, Shane. Oh yeah. Oh, you're going to the state fair this year. Speaking of which, and we're going to state fair.
Yeah, we're going. I don't know when.
Same way.
I'm not going this fucking weekend. It's too fucking hot.
No, what is it? Well, they always say one more week of just, I'm not, what do you call it, meteorologist. So.
Well, and here's my problem. Roger, like, he's walking, but I don't know if he can handle walking around the state fair. I don't know how that's going to work.
He might like it. He might like looking at the animals and all that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a big old pig in there.
Time. Where is he? What's going on? Sarah's like this close to getting a fucking dog leash. I'm pretty sure.
What's wrong with the monkey harness?
John, I'm not putting that shit on my kid.
Why?
John, have you heard of a man named Pat Williams?
You carry their diapers in it and their wipes. You have to carry a big old backpack. It's just a little and little rain on them.
I'm not a barbarian.
What?
Cat
What
Williams
does that
linked
mean?
the white people shooting places up. It's like you treated him like a fucking dog, and then you took him off the leash. What'd you expect him to do?
I'm not putting my kid on one of those, man. He can either fucking learn, get with the program, or we're just not going to the fucking fair. It's as simple
There's
as
nothing
that.
wrong. Had the little thing, you know, you let you know. Okay, you gotta learn how to walk, son. Learn how to walk. There you go. Don't be scared. You know,
A
you get too
couple,
far.
a
Hey,
couple months back, I took him walking. We were walking down the neighborhood, and he kept wanting to go down into the ditch. I'm like, we're not going down into the ditch. He kept trying to go, kept trying to pull. I was like, we're not going. You want to walk? We're going to walk because you wanted out. Like he wanted to go outside. So we're walking. He kept trying to get down to that damn ditch, and so finally he just got on his knees and just stayed there, just knees on the ground, and wouldn't move. And I was like, all right, then we're going fucking home. Picked his ass up, carried him home. I was like, well, we're done. We're
Did he
not
pull on you?
doing what Roger wants to do.
Did he pull on
So,
your beard?
huh?
Did he pull on your beard?
And he was like, eh,
what was
eh.
what was that? What was down there that was so interesting to him?
He just wanted to. He loves walking in the grass, but here's the
Okay.
problem: he didn't walk good enough to where he could negotiate going down that hill. He would have fucking tripped and tumbled down into the fucking rocks.
Shane wanted him to do that, but he didn't want him to get hurt.
What I've noticed is I've gotten in trouble several times. Anywhere, by the way, this is what I do. It's complete bullshit. People get mad at me. By the way, is like when I won't say where I was at. I'm not gonna call out nothing. But we were at someone's house, and he had one of like we were talking about this. He had one of them big old die-cast cars, and he was going vroom vroom. I'm not gonna say his name, you know, but he was like vroom vroom, and he threw it in the air and popped him on the head. He sat there and went ow ow ow, and they're like JP, get him. I looked over at him like, and what did we learn? Oh, they went total ape shit. They went total ape shit. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that to them. You can't say that to him. Like, why? He threw a car up, hit his head. I ain't done nothing to his head with the car no more. Oh, you gotta talk to them. You gotta get on their level and talk to them. Like, and now you can't do that no more. It's heavy. You're gonna hurt your head.
See, they would have. See, I would have got thrown out because I'd have been like, ha ha, that's what you get. And went back to my
But I do that to everything. Jonathan runs into a wall, and what did we learn? Yep, the wall's there. Yeah, be careful. You know, or you know, he hits himself on something. Up, and what did we learn? And apparently, your family hates it when I say that. Apparently, that's not good parenting. You know, apparently, you're
what?
supposed to go over there and console them.
He
You know,
just revealed who he was talking about. Nice job, John.
Aaron, we all fucking knew. I mean, it's obvious.
I don't know his wife's family like that.
Nobody. John's family wouldn't have criticized him for raising his kid. They wouldn't have cared.
man, Jacob. I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm putting Jacob's. Well, you know, Jacob's pretty proud of this, by the way. But okay, I'll tell you two different stories. So one time I was at Walmart before I even had kids, or thinking about having kids, and this little boy was crying in the buggy. Maybe he might be 1.5, maybe 2, and he started crying, and the mom said, "You're gonna start crying you're gonna stop crying on the count of 3. 1, 2." I was like, "What happens on 3?" I'm like, yo, man, he be quiet. Oh crap, he okay, cool. I tried to shit with Jonathan, that shit ain't working. But the point is, like, oh, it worked. Now, Jacob, same thing like you, Shane. He didn't tolerate, no. Stop that crying. Behave, you know, quit that yelling, you know, but he doesn't beat his kid. Not put it like that. He doesn't beat his kid, but he showed, hey, stop it right now. You know, we're done right now. Like, so he cuts it out. So who's to say whose parenting is wrong? You know.
Oh yeah, when Roger I was getting my 10-year badge from work. They're giving me a little 10-year pin, and so Roger and Sarah were there. They were sitting in the audience, and it was before I went to get up to get my award, and Roger starts like he didn't want to sit still. So I was like, hey, he's got to go, and she was like, oh, okay. I was like, just get him out of here, and so like she's walking him out, and he's like all the way out the fucking door.
They just get that way when they've been somewhere for too long. They just start,
Kids don't like shit to do.
Well,
this weekend at your thing, if he doesn't shoot at your thing, somebody's going out into the car with him for a little bit.
Oh, no, there's a gym in the kids. There's a gym in there. They can run around like crazy in the gym. There's balls in there. They can throw balls. The kids can run around and like all the kids will be over there having fun.
I can't afford it.
Huh?
Yeah, you're not gonna go. Okay.
Well, one thing, we weren't really invited.
Went on in medieval times on Sunday.
We weren't invited. So
what? Who?
Well, I wasn't invited either, but I asked my sister if I could go, and she said yeah. So if you'd have done the same thing,
she didn't even tell me. Like, I had to say, "Oh, I heard. What are y'all doing?" And then she finally told me. But I'd already known.
It's the same thing. I had to say, "Hey, what are y'all doing for Logan's birthday?" "Oh, we're going to medieval times. Will you mind if I go?" "Oh, he would love that." And that was how that conversation went. I didn't take it personally.
Yeah, we're not spending the cash on it.
So I'm going to ask Mom tomorrow if she's up to going because, she just had that surgery. I want to make sure she's okay. But I'm going to ask her if she wants surgery?
She had another one?
Surgery. Yeah, she had her fourth one.
How's she doing?
She looks miserable. She looks miserable.
How she doesn't seem like she's having a good time. Does she think she's fine? Is everything fine, though?
She won't know until she goes back to the doctor.
Can she see?
Not right now.
Then why are you taking her medieval times?
Because tomorrow I'm going to call her and see how she's doing, and if she's okay, then we'll take her.
I'm sure. I've never been yet. I haven't been medieval times yet. I haven't tried it yet.
It's basically like pro wrestling, but medieval.
Is the food good?
Prop weapons, they hit each other.
I thought their chicken was okay. It's all right. You don't get utensils. You got to eat everything with your hands.
Yeah, there's a lot of beer. A lot of these big ass wagons.
I'll tell you a quick story. A quick story that bugged me. I'm not gonna say whose family member it is, but they said, like, I guess in the old days, I'm not gonna say how long ago, but when someone threw a party, like, let's say if Shane said, "Hey, I'm having a baby shower, y'all come," that means everything's paid for. No, I'm sorry. When you go to a restaurant, everything's paid for. You just show up and everything. There was never this, "Hey, you want to come? You want to come? All right, come on. You're paying for yourselves, though." Apparently, to them, that was the wrong way to do stuff. You never did stuff like that. If you want someone to come to your thing, when you invited someone, you had to pay for them. I was like, yeah, we ain't living that age no more. Like, we ain't living that time no more.
That's why we went to Rudy's. It's free to reserve the room, and everybody get their own fucking barbecue. Only Rudy's.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that's good, but no, we ain't listening to that, huh? We ain't gonna pull that.
What happened to Daniel? How come Daniel ain't here?
I think I don't know. He went to the doctor. I think he's been really super tired. So either
he said he got allergies.
He's not sleeping right to his work schedule because he has to be working at 4:00. So either he's not sleeping right, or he's not getting enough vitamins or something.
I bet you it's his thyroid.
So he's not doing something correctly. I just think he like me, Shane. When I had to work in early mornings at 4 or 5, I can't go to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. I can't do it. I still got to stay up to like midnight or 11 o'clock doing bullshit.
What do you do?
Yeah, and I was dragging into work 3 hours sleep. Oh yeah, let's get it done, guys.
What are you doing until 12 o'clock?
Let's see. I'm reading my books, playing with my comic books, pretending to organize my room, bullshitting with people, looking up items and doing stuff that doesn't make no sense sometimes.
Did you get anywhere with your vampire hunting?
I paused on that for a little while.
Yeah, I told you I was going to help, but I didn't even fucking look at anything.
I knew you weren't. I'm glad the consideration that you're talking about it, but no, it's just I paused on it because, like I said, either there's no material out there or no one wants to talk about it, or people only want to talk about it at Halloween time, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer to see what happens. So now it's at the dead end, it gets tiresome. People don't want to talk about it, or why you want to talk about that for, so.
You getting ready for the next, did you see those pictures I tagged you in? Yeah. I saw them. What do you think? I like it. Looks good.
That'll work.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Did you hear about Marvel and Sony working together one more time?
Yeah, they're gonna do the Spider-Man. What's the deal? What happened? What's the breakdown?
It's just so they can use the. Well, come on. If you want to do a Spider-Man movie with Tom Hardy, he's been connected with Iron Man and everything else. Well,
Tom Hardy or Tom Hiddle, Tom what the
Tom
fuck's his
Holland.
name?
Tom
Holland.
Tom Hardy. I'm sorry, but he's been connected with the whole Endgame and all the other movies. Do you really want to just separate that now? You know.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I guess I just now realized that Tom Holland is Spider-Man and Tom Hardy is Venom.
Mm-hmm.
You got two Toms, and they're both rich.
I bet there's a secret deal in there we don't know about. Like, okay, we'll give you the rights from some Marvel characters for this movie, but you still gotta let us use Tom in another Marvel movie. You know, I bet there's some kind of deal in there like that.
Well, the original deal, the reason why the negotiations fell through is because Disney wanted to renegotiate like who got what, like as far as like sales and distribution went.
Well, there was also the problem with studio payments and money they were spending.
So nobody wants to pay up. Everybody just wants to fucking collect. That's all it is. Nobody wants to pay up.
You want to water it down. Yeah, that's what it was about.
Yeah, everybody's ready to cash the check, but don't know why nobody want to write one out. Shit. And that's what the problem was. No, we like to do like it was. Well, I think we did a lot for y'all. You know, can we even it out? No, let's keep it just like it is. Just like it is. we like this 90-10%. So, but I think that there's more to the deal than we see. I think this is gonna be like, no, we'll give you one, give us one. You know, so I think it is. I knew that we do something like if you weren't gonna use Tom, if you weren't gonna make any more Marvel movies with Tom, just scrap the whole thing and just get a whole new filler. Just have Spider-Man no more in the Marvel universe, I guess. You know?
I have to give Sarah credit. Tonight we were watching Titans. Have y'all seen this show, Titans?
Which one? Teen Titans? Or we got to break it down.
The live action one, where they're actual.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So this season is the first appearance of Deathstroke, and the episode tonight.
I like the outfit. Like I said.
He introduces you to the first Aqualad. Remember Aqualad?
Mm-hmm.
Aqualad.
Yeah, we watched that cartoon afterwards. Anyways, so Aqualad is like standing there, and fucking Slade has got like a 50 cal sniper rifle, and pops around right into like his clavicle, hits him right here, and it breaks the skin, you know, fucking. And Sarah was like, I thought their skin was dense and they couldn't break it. And I was like, hey, you actually learned a little bit about Atlanteans. But I was also like, Slade Uranian tips his fucking bullets, so
yeah, but there's still a limit to unbreakable skin.
Yeah,
there's still a limit to it, you know. Did you ever get a chance to look at the Shazam Who Laughs?
No, I'm gonna because I do digital, so I got to get Sarah's iPad loaded up and charged, and then I'll. But I probably just can't jump in there, John. I'm gonna have to read like the actual comic book that started it. I'm gonna have to go back.
The Batman Who Laughs.
And the Batman Who Laughs, and then all that. I'm gonna have to get all that in.
Whatever.
It's not very long. For me. It's not very long. So, but they say it's really good though. Okay, so off topic, real quick.
Where's our special guest at? It's Friday.
We are the special guests. We are.
So, Aaron, all of a sudden you're the fucking format police. Is that it?
You guys get on my ass, then I can get on yours. It goes both ways, goddammit.
They call you up, you fucking do the dishes, and you're like, let me fucking clean this plate real quick before I fucking talk.
What?
You were doing dishes.
I've never seen anybody get mad about me.
I'm trying to organize. My fault. I'm trying to organize a party, get a baby room ready, try to console a wife. I'm trying to keep the yard from growing damn hay. I'm growing fucking hay grass. I'm fucking growing hay grass. How the fuck I get hay grass in my yard?
You're not taking care of your yard, John. Shit.
It's fucking look. No, I never had hay grass. I come home like, what the fuck is hay grass growing in my yard for?
Yeah.
I can bale this fucking hay and feed it to a cow. You know, like what the fuck, man? But anyways, so like I was saying, Shane, have you or Aaron, both of y'all, have y'all ever went to a comic book shop and go, man, I just need to read this one. I just need to read this one. I don't need, fucking 5 or 6. Is it rude?
Well, I don't read comics, man.
You never read the comic? Stop. What do you read, Aaron? I'm sorry. What novels does Aaron read?
Warhammer.
The what? Science. Science.
Warhammer. That's all I read.
Science fiction novels.
Just Warhammer.
I've got some StarCraft novels too.
So just Warhammer and StarCraft, which is a ripoff of Warhammer.
And no, it's not. And some Brian Jakes.
StarCraft is a ripoff of Warhammer 40K.
No, it's not.
What is it?
And then
Space Marines, Orcs, Protoss, Tyranids, Eldar.
Are you saying Warhammer ripped off Warcraft?
No, Warcraft ripped off Warhammer.
StarCraft didn't. StarCraft is his own.
StarCraft ripped off Warhammer 40K.
And you got proof for all this? Is this actual argument that Warcraft?
No, he's jumping to conclusions.
He's
got to jump to conclusions.
Your puppet argument, it's a different fucking story. All right, Puppet Land is different.
He's got different conclusions he can jump to.
He's trying to connect it to the puppet story. That's different.
So, has there been an argument about Warcraft ripping off 40K? Has there been people arguing about that? Is that a thing with them?
Well, I think you can make it, as long as you make it substantially different, you're okay. Like if
they're not gonna get a cease and desist.
Yeah, no, because it's different enough. But you could tell it's definitely inspired.
John, did you get that letter from Michael?
No. He didn't dare send that shit to me. It holds no value. Nothing. You copyright nothing. You can't get someone a cease and desist and say, stop. That's like me sending Shane a cease and desist about showing his action figures off. No, Shane, I do that first. You can't do that. It's the same concept, just bullshitting.
You did it first?
Huh?
Thought I did it first.
Wait, no, who did shit first? I'm just saying, that's what it'd be like. Shane, I wanted the toy background. You stole my idea, even though you have 4 fucking walls of them and I got 2,
If we're getting that petty of an argument, we got other problems going on.
We're probably drinking drinks out of her fucking back pocket.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, God.
I heard though he is moving back to Corsicana though. He is going back though.
Where was he at?
He's in Arlington.
With Daniel?
By himself.
How's that going?
I guess it's just boring. He wants to see Gabriel more, the family more, except his brother that steals his puppet ideas. But he wants to see his family more.
Where's he working at?
Walmart.
Which one?
The one off Great Southwest.
Oh.
He likes it. He just, what? I'm not doing it.
Did he get fired from there before? Did he?
The what?
Didn't he get fired from there before?
No, he got fired from the
1801.
The one on I forgot the other one he got fired from.
Yeah, 1801.
Yeah. So, man, Michael's been working for like almost 10 years now at Walmart.
At that one? At the same one?
Yeah. But like same thing, he just misses the family. He misses hanging out. Him and, man, we lived in Corsicana. Him and Gabriel, fucking peas in a pod. Peas and carrots. How did Forrest say it? Peas and carrots?
Yeah, he said that.
Man, just, they were everywhere together, holding hands. Just, literally, there's a picture of them holding hands.
Skipping through tulips and shit.
Yeah, they were always
together. Michael are both big dudes. They skip.
So they were always bullshitting around. So probably him going back.
Yeah, be jealous, John, because someone in your family has a good relationship with someone else in the family.
I know, right?
Kind of fucked up, John.
Yeah.
Kinda
Is it me?
Yeah.
I'm the one that texts them every day.
Here it is. All the deep-seated issues are starting to come.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I'm doing.
Why don't you get your couch, John? Lay down for a minute.
Here's the problem. John and Daniel ain't fucking holding hands.
And they're not holding hands with Andrew either.
You have to understand that Daniel would hit John upside the head with a fucking broomstick for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Just to do it. He's not going to be. So John doesn't have that. John doesn't have, oh, that's a friend. That's somebody who cares about me. That's somebody that wants me to do well. Here's somebody's going to come at me with a fucking broom.
So let's ask Aaron Shane. Let's ask Aaron Shane what we discussed. Aaron, do you have friends or what was you saying? Friends, colleagues, or people you associate with? What do you have more of?
I used to have friends, but now it's the people that I associate with. I don't. When I first moved to Waco, I was really big in the church scene because the church was literally right down the street from my house. It was kind of like the house Shane and I grew up in. There's a church right next to it. So I'm living in this house for like 2 or 3 years. And the whole time I'm there, people are coming over to the house. We're having dinners every once in a while. People are, meeting people at my house and dating now. And, we have Christmas parties, New Year's parties, backyard fires because we had a fire pit in the backyard. I mean, we were just having people come over all the time. And the more I got to know them, the more I was like, I don't like these people. They're shallow, they're self-centered, and they don't really care about the bigger problems going on around them. They just are tunnel visioned. And so I didn't really fit in because not only did I feel that, I would also tell people that they didn't like to hear it. So they stopped wanting to.
What would you tell them?
The truth, Shane.
You guys have no idea about the bigger world around you. You all live in this little bubble and you act like everything's just perfect around here, but it's not. You got people on the side of the street here begging for money and they have no substantial way to make a living. And you just walk right past them like they're not even there.
Why don't they have a way to make a living? Taco Bell's not hiring?
It's for XY. I mean, this was years and years ago. I don't remember all the details of what I said, but anyway, so I'm telling these people what I think about them, and I was like, you all are, you have these shallow relationships. You're clicked up. You got like 3 or 4 people that think like you that you'll hang out with, and then you'll come to these parties just to make nice with everybody else, but then you'll run off with your other friends, and we won't hear from you for like 2 or 3 weeks. And so I don't understand, why do you even come around at all?
What's wrong with networking? What's wrong with meeting more people?
Well, it's usually to serve their own ends. Like they're trying to get something going for their business or to buy somebody's house.
See, that's people you associate with. Networking.
At first, I thought they were friends because they were coming over to my house, eating my food. I was giving them drinks, and we were having, fires in the backyard, and we were talking about life. And then the more I got to know them, the more they got to know me. It was like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Like I always said, I got too many friends. I need to fucking cull the herd a little bit. It's a little too much.
Well, that's what I did. Is the ones that are really my friends, like JJ. JJ is my friend from Vietnam. He invited me to his birthday party, his baby shower. That was a couple weeks ago. I met his wife. Huh?
The war in Vietnam.
Well, he wasn't there for that, but
the war in Vietnam.
He's having a baby, and I got to go to his baby shower. His wife, when she came to the U.S., I got to meet her. And then my friend TJ. TJ's from the Dallas area.
Where was she born at?
I'm not sure where he was born exactly.
No, where was she? You said she came to the USA. Where the fuck is she from?
They're both from Vietnam.
Oh, so they're like Vietnamese. They weren't like in Vietnam. Like they weren't like.
Oh, my friend that's from Vietnam is.
I was confused for a moment.
Yeah, I was thinking you're talking about the vet. You're talking like Walter or something.
He's actually from the memes. And he went the totally stereotypical Vietnamese route. He opened up his own nail and foot spa. So he does nails and foot massages.
I got a fucked up story about that I got to tell y'all that's going to make you fucking hate life. I was reading this. It's like, first of all, what I'm about to tell you is hypothetical. Didn't really happen.
Okay.
I was reading this offense report, and this guy, because I was looking at what his charge was. And he was a little Vietnamese guy, and he was only like 5'2", 135 pounds, tiny guy. And I was like, who the fuck did he sexual assault? And how did he do it? Like, any woman I think I know would be able to kick this guy's ass. He was tiny. So start reading it. He worked at this nail salon, and he was kind of like one of the beginner level guys. He was like entry level. He wasn't big time. He was just working there. He was an employee. Well, this family goes to this salon quite a bit, and it was this an older lady. She's and her husband and their granddaughter, who's got Down syndrome, like bad Down syndrome. and they take her to the nail salon, and she's still on to get her nails done. And they left. They were like, "Okay, we'll come by and get you, when you're ready." So they left. While they were gone, he tells her, "Hey, I got to show you something in the back room. I got to do something special for you." And she's like, "Okay," because she's a fucking tard. So they walk back there, and he drops his pants and sticks his dick out and says, "Here, you need to put this in your mouth. It'll make you feel better." So she's like, "I don't think this is right." And he's like, "No, no, no, just do it." And she's like, "No, I don't want to." And he's like, "Well, if you don't, I'm going to tell your parents that you were being bad." And so she did it because she's, a fucking tard. And he blew one off in her. And so she goes back and she tells her parents, she's like, they're like, "How'd it go, honey?" And she's like, "I got something to tell you." And they're like, "What?" And she said, "Well, I can't remember his name, but she was like, so-and-so put his penis in my mouth." And they were like, "What the fuck?" So they took her right away to the police and got like a rape kit done. Sure enough, there was semen and shit in her mouth. So that's how he did it. She was fucking retarded.
And shit.
And this guy's out on the street. He's not in jail.
He's on the street?
Yeah. And he's got to have his day in court, right? He's innocent until proven guilty.
But you just said he did
it. Allegedly. According to her statement, according to the tard statement, she did it. And the evidence.
If anyone that does a sexual assault, they're supposed to come tell their neighbors, right? They're supposed to come to my door and say, "Hey, I'm by law supposed to tell you that, I'm a predator, like shit, man."
He's not been convicted yet, John. He's got to be convicted first.
You have to be convicted, and they make you keep a sign up on your door. You got to have like a big old sign.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't fucking know that. Did someone did a senator say they wanted to pass something that their license plate had to say something like that?
Yeah. Well, they even talked about chemical castration, where they fucking kill your dick.
Yeah, I don't think that flew. I don't know, why, but I don't think that flew though. Right birds didn't fly that day.
They got this Vietnamese guy that I know is nothing like that.
So I got this one time that somebody had fucked up and they put documentation into my person's file, but it was a mistake. But it was about this guy who was getting tested. So when these guys get convicted, they have them get tested, and what they do is they hook their dick up to this machine, and they show them images, and they see if their dick grows. And so, like, if they show them like images of kids and babies and shit, and their dick gets hard, that's how they know they got fucking problems and shit.
That is not what I have never heard of anything like that.
Yep, it's called a PPE machine, and it's fucking. I was reading it and I was like, oh no, I know what this is, because I had heard it before, and I was really like, God, I don't want to read this shit, so I had to turn the fucking computer off, because I was like, so I had to send an email to the person. It's like, "Hey, I think this is a mistake," and they're like, "Oh, sorry, my bad," and they fixed it. But yeah, it's fucking nasty. I didn't know
they test people like that. I know
that. They put probes up to their dick and see if they grow.
Yeah, how is that legal?
Well, so when you're ordered to this type of stuff, it's like, okay, you can do all this crazy shit, or you can go to prison. What do you want to do? You want to have your dick measured and you can stay free, or you want to go to prison? Your choice. What do you want to do? And most of them will say, "Yeah, I guess just measure my dick, and I don't have to go to prison."
Fuck, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like Aaron said, that doesn't even sound. It doesn't sound legal, but
well, they're not being forced to do it. It's not like we're holding a gun up to their head and said, "Hey, hook your dick up."
Yeah, you are. It's that or prison. That is the proverbial gun.
No, you can choose prison, and you don't have to do it.
What?
They're not going to measure your dick in prison. No,
they're going to be asshole.
But
I see Shawshank. Your dick in prison.
So
this Vietnamese guy I know is nothing like that. He's one of the guys I still talk to. And then my friend from Dallas is one of the guys I talk to, but sparingly. He works for the church that I don't go to anymore. And every once in a while, you know, I'll do stuff with my church, and then I'll do stuff with the Veterans One Stop here, volunteering, and that's how I keep my social circle going.
So,
Church and Lane.
to backtrack, do you have more friends or just people you associate with?
People I associate with, like even my old supervisor, who I thought I was tight with. I heard about some things after I left there that really made me reevaluate the way that I view him. So he threw this guy under the bus. He ended up getting fired because he claimed to his management team that he didn't know he was going to be taken off work when he had text messages saying, "Boss, I'm not going to be at work." But this guy I'm telling you about claimed ignorance, that he didn't know. And that was the second time I heard that he did that. And I was like, fuck, man, I'm glad he didn't, you know, get me fired that way.
Aaron, why do all your friends take advantage of you?
I guess it's because I let them. I guess if I have to get to the meat and bones of it, I let them do
it. You're not saying you're weak though. You know, you just like to help people. You're not weak. You just like to help.
Well, I mean, I always get to a point where it's like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, and I don't.
You know,
I don't work at that place anymore. I don't live with that guy anymore. I don't live in that house anymore. That's why I'm living.
You don't have to live in Texas no more. All you gotta do is live with Jamie. You gotta leave, Aaron.
Well, she still lives in Corpus Christi, and she doesn't want to move out of Texas. But I mean, if let's say hypothetically, I wanted to go to California, there was an opportunity that came up where I could have done that. It was when I was working for the movie theater, and this was
made it. You wouldn't have made it, man. The cost of living's too fucking high.
Yeah, it is, and the wage out there was just not able. And I told my guy that wanted me to come out there. He used to be my general manager. I said I just can't afford it. And I could tell that he didn't want to hear what I had to say, but it's like, dude, you don't understand. I don't have a family out there. I don't have family that's going to give me money here. So even if I sold everything I fucking own and moved out there, I'd still be homeless.
God dang.
There's a lot of homeless people in California.
And I wasn't ready to do. I mean, I could have lived at the fucking movie theater, but that would have been awful.
Just live in the parking lot.
Feel where the reels are playing. Just sleep up there.
So there's plenty of places you can hide, but you don't want to do that.
When you were a manager at the theater that you were at, did you ever take any of your employees up to the fucking theater room and bang them? Like fucking just.
No, hell, no, man. I mean, that was a toxic atmosphere. People tried hooking up there all the time, and it never went anywhere. It was always bad.
You never got involved in that?
No.
But it happened all the time.
No, Kyson Utley ended up meeting his wife at the movie theater, but when he met her, he was already dating someone else, and that was just a nasty. It was just a shit show. But yeah, there were places that I went to go take a nap while I was on the clock. Like nothing was going on. There was no shows in the morning. I didn't have any trailers that I needed to build for trailer movies. I didn't have any programs I needed to keep up with. All the money was counted. All the stock was put away. And nobody really needed me for about 30 minutes. So I said, fuck it. I went up into the closet room upstairs and laid down.
Why don't you go back there? Why don't you go back to work there?
I mean, I thought about it as a part-time gig, but it's not a career, you know, because that location, people, when they make management roles, like the general manager that's been there has been there for 5 years now. And his assistant has been there for 4.
What about that one guy that's been there for like fucking ever?
Josh has been there over 10 years, and he moved up to a management position, and then a company bought them out and took that position away. So now he's back to a regular role. He's just more senior.
You don't want to go work for him again?
That would be fun, but it wouldn't be full time. That would be like I'd do that on the weekend type of shit.
God dang, man, that sucks.
Yeah, no.
You want to take your role away, but I just got it. Yeah.
He literally, and John, this is a dude that's older than you, and he's got a 4-year psychology degree.
They did that to a guy at my job. His name was Rich, and he got promoted to manager. And then when we got a new director that came in, he brought in they call them right sizers. They evaluate your company to see for inefficiencies and stuff. It's basically the plot line to the movie Office Space.
What was his name?
And Anyways, they came in and they, hey, you're getting, your position is gone. So they just made him a normal supervisor, but he still fucking had to do the same shit he was doing as manager.
I never understood that. Your position's gone, but you still didn't maintain
What you were doing. He was the first one to show up in the building, and he was the last one to fucking leave every day until he retired. And I was just like, man. So now all of us are having to fill his gap, and nobody fucking wants to do it. So it has to be like a rotation, Yeah.
Whenever I left Evans Enterprises, the people that they had, filling my spot were the supervisor and the quality assurance guy. And the quality assurance guy was an 8 to 5 every day. And when he came and filled my shoes, he was still doing that. Now, remind you, there were times where I was working from 6 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and he stopped that shit. So who had to pick up the slack? My supervisor.
All right, guys, we've hit an hour mark on this special guest Friday.
Woo! Thank you to our special guest for joining us tonight.
It's my dick. That's a special guest.
But thank you for joining us, Aaron's dick. Thank you.
He's not always here, but he's here tonight.
Gonna go check out Astra tomorrow.
Are you? I told Jamie we should go see that.
Ad Astra, John? Ad Astra?
With Brad Pitt? It's got Brad Pitt in it.
I still don't get the concept of the movie. I don't know what happens going on in the movie. I don't get to go.
It looks like his dad. They think that his dad's responsible for something that's about to happen to the solar system, but I guess he's trying to prove that his dad wasn't responsible. I don't know. Something to do with
like that. Yeah, the trailers don't give you a lot to go on. So what's happening? But all right. Anyway, Shane, take us out, Shane.
All right, Aaron at Southeast 3rd, talking about crazy shit.
Are you a fucking owl? I think you're an owl. Like that's what I wanted to make in my puppet show, where you had this neck where I could turn your head completely around. And you would say your lines after your head did a complete 360. And make your eyeballs controllable to where your eyeballs would perk up and down.
we got John back at JP's doing it live every weekday morning. I had to skip your Shazam episode because I want to wait till I read it. So
that's why I said be careful. I want you to read what happens in it.
So and then we're at Big Beefin at B Beefin on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. For some reason, our episode didn't make it to Anchor and Google and Apple because I put Trump in there.
I had the same problem. It kept saying not ready or not compatible.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, the only thing I did differently is I put Trump in here. Just because I put Trump, I don't get on now.
No, it's a system something didn't work there that day. It didn't work. So.
Well, it's up now. So Big Beefin, and I'll try to get this episode up tonight or first thing in the morning.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll see you Sunday, Shane. And Aaron, enjoy your medieval times.
We might stop by there, Aaron, to give Logan his gift. I don't know yet.
What are you getting him?
He wanted a PlayStation card.
How much?
Yeah. Fortnite.
John, it's going to be like $20 or something.
Dang, I almost got Logan to do some nasty shit for $5. So funny. So Brittany had this leftover pan she had left in the sink from when she had made eggs. And it had water in it, and the eggs were old, and they looked gross. I couldn't even tell what it was at first. But I go up to it, and I'm helping Logan wash the dishes at Brittany's apartment because she's got a fuckload of them. And I look at it, and I said, Logan, if you take a bite of this, I'll give you $5. He's like, yeah, you got to put it on my PlayStation Network card. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And I took the spatula up and got some of that nasty shit on it. And he literally opened his mouth and started to do it. And I said, no, you're not going to do that.
That fucking $5, John. That fucking kid was desperate.
He was ready, man. He was going to do it for $5.
They want Fortnite. They want them skins.
And he's
like, I want you to put on my Fortnite games. And I'm like, fuck.
When I wanted a game, I fucking went and cut grass. I didn't fucking eat some nasty ass shit off a spatula.
They ain't cheap, Shane. That Batman skin for Fortnite isn't cheap. It ain't cheap, man. All right, guys. Well, y'all be careful.
I get why Ruth doesn't want me hanging around her kids now.
Damn right. I told her after the fact, I was like, hey, Aaron wasn't there. And she's like, oh, y'all could have told me that. And I was like, no, we kind of like the fact that you're crazy and don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We like to bury it this way.
Brutal, man.
Hey, push that red. Hey, just push that red button right there. Just push that red button.
Oh, we're going to wrap it up?
No.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Faster than that. Oh.